preaching the word. Don't go out to camp, you scared. Put up my friends, get fly like a bird. We keep the commandments, don't know what you heard. Pull out some scripts like I'm a director. I stay with my sword, I'm ready whenever. It's the end of the world.
Let me show you something, sis. I'm gonna show you in the Bible that we come out here to show our people love. Our people don't want to hear it. She said, oh, what love are y'all showing? So I'm gonna show you with the Bible how we show love, and then I'm gonna show you some love. Watch this.
Leviticus 19:17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
The Bible says we should not hate our brothers or sisters in our heart, which is our mind, right? Read.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
The word rebukes means to correct, right? So he says, don't hate your neighbor. You should in any wise correct your neighbor. So let's give it correction to our neighbors according to the word of God. That's love.
That's right.
Me letting you run around and do whatever you want to and excuse it, that's not love, right? Because if you're about to get hit by a car, would you want somebody to say, hey, don't go in front of the car? Or would you just want, oh, I don't want to tell her nothing that she don't agree with, that you walk in front of the car? Yeah. That ain't love, right? Yeah. So love is correcting our people. So that's what we had to do, correct our people, right? Correct the mind frame of our people, because we've been lied to a lot, right? So I got a question for you. What's your nationality? Mexican, right? Can I find Mexican in the Bible? Did God write all the nations in the Bible? All of the nations are listed in the Bible, right? But I can't find Mexican. So now we got to figure out, what does God call the Mexicans in the Bible? That's what we're here to teach our people. What does God call the Mexican in the Bible? What does he call the black man in the Bible? What does he call the Native American man in the Bible, right? So give me Deuteronomy 28. Watch this. So you know about Moses, right? What did Moses do, sis?
It's been a while.
Remember, they were in Egypt. Remember they was in Egypt and he parted the Red Sea and brought the Israelites through? What were they doing in Egypt? Remember he said what? Let my people go, because they were doing what? They were slaves, right? And so they were slaves in Egypt. God put the 10 plagues. Moses split the Red Sea. They went through the Red Sea. Now they're on the other side of the Red Sea, right? And now he's going to start addressing the Israelites now that they're on the other side of the Red Sea, right? Let's see what he said was going to happen to the Israelites, right? Then we're going to start figuring out who are the Israelites today. Watch this.
Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
He said it's going to come to pass. Something's going to happen if you don't listen to the voice of the Lord thy God. Let's see what the voice of the Lord, this one sits over there. Let's see what the voice of the Lord is. Read.
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
So what's the voice of the Lord? To observe, to do the statutes and commandments, the words of this Bible. This is the voice of the Lord, the Bible, not some voice you hear in the closet, right? So he said, something's going to happen to the Israelites if they don't do the commandments. Read.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Sis, is a curse a good thing or a bad thing? If somebody put a curse on you, is it good or bad? Bad, right? So God told the Israelites, if you break my commandments, I'm going to make these bad things come upon you and overtake you. You're not going to be able to shake it, right? Verse 46. Let's see what he said about these curses.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
He said these curses are going to be upon the Israelites for a sign. What does a sign do, sis? It shows you something, right? It's an indicator marker. A sign shows you something, right? So he said these curses are going to be upon the Israelites for a sign
and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
What's a man's seed?
A man's seed?
Right. If I plant an apple seed, I get what? An apple tree. Yeah. If a man plants his seed, you get what? A baby, right? So he told the Israelites, if you break my commandments, I'm going to put these curses on you as a sign on your children forever, right? So all the way up until today, we can look at the curses in this Bible and see who the Israelites are, right? 16, watch this. Let's see some of these curses. Read.
Verse 16, cursed shall thou be in the city.
He said the Israelites, they broke his commandments, are going to be cursed in the city, right? Let's think. Anywhere you go in Lubbock, anywhere in the world, if you find the ghetto, the barrio, the high poverty area, what race of people live in those areas? What race of people?
These are black or Mexican.
Blacks and Mexicans, right? But remember, these curses are signs to show who the Israelites are, right? He said they're going to live in the worst parts of the city. They're going to be cursed in the city, right? Read.
And cursed shall thou be in the field.
He said they're going to be cursed in the field. Who picked cotton for hundreds of years for free? Who was out there with us? Who's still out here picking fruits and berries and stuff for green cards, little low wages? Mexicans, right? But God said these are signs to show who the Israelites are, right? Let's get some more signs. Watch this. 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
He said the Israelites' sons and daughters were going to be given to another people, right? Let's go back to slavery, right? Did they keep all the families together, or did they give the kids to another race of people? They gave away, right? Let's go today. When you go to the border right now, what's going on with ICE? Is there another race of people taking somebody's children and put them in cages? Who is it? The white people taking who? The Mexicans, right? Another race of people is taking the Mexicans and locking their children in cages, right?
Bring it out.
Read.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand.
He said you're going to sit there and cry all day long because you ain't going to have no power in our hands, right? So did we have power to go get our children back in slavery? What about at the border? Has anybody got the power to go get them kids out the cages right now? No, right? But remember, these are signs to show who? This is signs to show who the Israelites are, right?
Right.
Let's see. Let's go to 68. Let's go to chapter 68. Watch this.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
He said, the Lord shall bring you to Egypt again, right? So what were the Israelites doing the first time in Egypt? Remember, we just talked about Moses saved them from what? Slavery, right? Let's see. Go to it. Let's see what the Bible calls Egypt, right?
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
Because Egypt is a Greek word which means, it's going to show us. Watch this.
Exodus 20:2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So God called Egypt what? House of bondage. What does bondage mean? Captive, right? Slavery. So Egypt in the Bible means slavery, right? So let's see what he told the Israelites. Because the land over there was called Mizraim at that time. But now it's called Egypt because Egypt means bondage, right? So now let's read it again. Watch this.
Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
He said the Lord is going to bring you to Egypt or slavery again, right? They just left slavery. He said, I'm going to take you into slavery again. But how this time?
With ships.
He said he's going to take the Israelites into slavery again with ships. What people on the earth today went to slavery with ships? What race of people went to slavery on slave ships? How did the black man get to America? On ships, right? What kind of ships? Yachts? Slave ships, right? Question. When Christopher Columbus came over here, he took natives back to Europe on what? On ships. He took Mexicans and Native Americans back to Spain and Europe with slave ships, right? We don't learn that history, right? Because you know, the so-called Hispanic and natives, they were actually slaves over here before the black people came.
Bring it out.
They were colonialized. It was your land. They came over here, conquered you, and made you slaves. Then when they killed too many of y'all, then they went and got us.
Bring it out.
So the 1492, that's what started the slavery for the Mexicans over here.
That's right.
We didn't come to 1619. That's a lot of history that gets erased. Because when you start putting that history together, it starts making sense that we are the same people, right?
That's right.
But let's get back to this. Watch this.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
So he said you're going to go into slavery on ship, but you're not going back to that Egypt. That one, you ain't going to see that one no more again. You're going to go to a new house of bondage.
Bring it out.
Because we came over here as what? Slave. This was our house of bondage. He said you're not going back to that one. You're going to this one, right? Read.
And there,
and when you get there, what's going to happen?
Ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
He said, you go on a slave ship, and when you get off, you're going to be sold unto your enemies. Were we sold to somebody? Who were we sold to? The white people, right? What about the Hispanics when they got over to Europe? Who they get sold to? The same people, but God called them what? You said you're going to be sold to who? Read it again.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
To your enemies. So, do we have enemies according to God? Yeah, he said they're going to sell you into slavery. Right, read.
For bondmen and bondwomen.
Slave men and slave women. The women ain't getting out of this. Read.
And no man shall buy you.
It says no man shall buy you or redeem you. Right? Christ is coming back to save us, but no man can do it. We had Cesar Chavez, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all these great people rose up. But when you look, we're still in the ghetto. We still get our kids taken. We still fit these curses. Because God said once the Israelites go into these curses, nobody gonna be able to save them, right? So let's think. If Moses is saying these curses are gonna happen to the Israelites, right? And all of them are happening to who? When we went through it, who all fit these curses? The blacks and the Mexicans, right? So if Moses said it's gonna happen to the Israelites and it happened to the blacks and the Mexicans, who must the blacks and the Mexicans be? Think about it. So Moses said these things are going to happen as a sign on the Israelites, right? And when you look at these signs, it only happened to the blacks and the Mexicans. So who would the blacks and Mexicans be in the Bible?
Oh, you already tried that.
Think about it, sis. If Moses says it's going to happen to the Israelites and it happened to us, who must we be? Because Mexican ain't in the Bible. We the Israelites, right?
That's right.
We are the Israelites in the Bible, right?
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation